Well, hello. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Vernicia, and I'm the owner of Brush Studios. Today, we are painting Sea Turtle. You'll need a few supplies. You'll need a cup of water, a paper plate or large palette, a paper towel, acrylic paint, brushes, and a canvas. I hope you enjoy the class, and please tag us at Brushed ATL when you complete your painting. Enjoy! The first thing you want to do is wash and dry your large brush and scoop a little bit of white paint on your large brush. Once you're done with scooping a little bit of white paint on your large brush and you washed and dried it, you're going to dip that same brush in a little bit of blue. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Just do white on your brush and dip it in a little bit of blue. The next thing you want to do is use your turtle as a point of reference and draw a circle, maybe a little bit bigger than a softball, not a huge circle, but you're going to draw a circle and make sure you don't paint over your turtle. You're just going to go from one turtle's shoulder, kind of go around, and then you're going to kind of skip over the next turtle, and there you have it. A nice circle with your blue and white paint. Once you're done with that step, you want to continue adding white and blue to your brush and start to blend in a circular motion. The goal is to fill up this space that is outside of your turtles. So you're going to just blend. You can add in a little bit of white if you like, and you can actually dip your brush in a little bit of water as well. So you're going to blend, but make sure you're going in a circular motion outside of the circle that you just made, back and forth. So you're going to continue filling up this space, going back and forth, continue to get more paint as needed. And you can actually make your corners of your painting a little bit darker by adding more blue if you like, or you can continue with the same process. So you're using white, blue, and at times a little bit of water. If you want to go ahead and pull your brush down and outline some of your grass and the ground below, you can outline that first if you're nervous or you just want to make sure you don't paint over your grass. Feel free to go ahead and brush down below. Just take a little bit of blue and white paint as you double dip and outline that, and then go ahead and finish filling in the rest of your water. So once you're done filling in your water, you can wash and dry your brush, and you're going to just lightly blend a little bit. Blend that little circle that you have in the middle, okay? So you can make a really, 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 really light blue if you like, or you can use a little bit of white and just gently blend and kind of go around your turtle just so you have a little bit of sunlight peeking through, but it's not completely white. And feel free to use a little bit of water and just blend any other areas that you feel need to be further blended, but you should have a nice little mix. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some areas can be darker and some areas can be lighter. Just blend to your heart's content. So, similar to your previous process, you're going to wash and dry your brush and you're going to add a little green to your brush and add in a little white as well. Okay. And if you don't have green in your palette, you can simply mix blue, and yellow together, and that makes green. So make a little bit of green with your large brush, and you're going to start to paint the little areas that are outlined as grass. And if your outline doesn't reach all the way to the bottom of your canvas, that's okay. You can just go ahead and pull your brush around to the side of your canvas or paint all the way down to the bottom of your canvas. Now, I like to make a couple different shades of green. It's up to you whether you want them all to match, but go ahead and fill in several places on your canvas. And if you want to add more, this is your masterpiece. Feel free to do so. So you're doing a great job. Once you're done filling in all your grass, the next step is to wash and dry your large brush. And you're going to start to put a little bit of brown on your large brush. All right. So now we're going to do our ground or our sand underwater. You're going to just apply that brown to the areas outside of your grass. And if you want to add a little shading, you can do a smidge of black, just dip in a little bit of black and kind of paint over the brown areas. So you can do black and brown together and just do a little bit of shading. That's kind of a medium to advanced technique. So if you feel more comfortable kind of sticking with your brown, that's fine. But if you're feeling fancy, add a little bit of black, just a tiny bit now to your brown, and go ahead and fill in your space. And just to add a little bit of texture, you can also add a little bit of white. After you've filled in most of the space with brown and black, you can add a little bit of white as well. Totally up to you if you like to add that piece. Again, once you've painted your brown, if you want to add a little black to your brush and kind of go over the edges just for a little shading, you're welcome to do that as well. So this is what that looks like, and you can add black in a couple of little areas as well. I've seen folks add white in and add more texture, add rocks. So that's the perfect time to add additional dimensions and make sure you paint the edges of your canvas. So for our next step, we are going to blend a little bit of green and a tiny smidge of black together. So you should still have green from your grass. If not, make some more green and add a smidge of black to that to kind of make a dark green color. It almost looks black. All right. But as you paint your first turtle, you'll see that you can still see the green. Just do a color that you prefer. And if you want to do a different color, feel free to do that as well. But I'm going to go with green. And then once I fill in my turtle, I go to my next turtle and add a nice dark green to both of those turtles. So the next step is optional, but once you've colored in your turtles, you're going to wash and dry your brush, and you can actually get your small brush or your medium brush. You're going to add a little black to it and just add some little details to the turtle's shell. Okay. Now, some folks know a lot of information about turtles and want to add in some other colors, but I just did my small brush and added a little black detail. For the next step, you want to take your large brush and add a little bit of black paint, and you're just going to color in that rock at the top left corner. Okay, so go ahead and paint that in with black paint. And you can either wash your brush after this step or you can go right into it. But the next step is going to be adding a little bit of white shading. So just put a little bit of white paint on your brush once you've painted the rock black, and just add a little dab of white paint along the edges of your rock. It doesn't have to be super neat. It's just to add some shading to your rock. So now we're getting down to adding some additional details. While you have black paint on your large brush, you can just kind of go over the edges of your ground with more black just to add a little bit more definition. Again, this is totally optional. You can add some other colors in as well, but I'm just going to go over my edges and just kind of clean up my details a little bit. And your next step would be to wash your small brush. Once you're done adding your black, get your smallest brush, add a little more black to it, and you're going to add just some additional detail to your ocean floor. So really, you start with just making a couple of jagged lines, and it's almost like a fork, kind of a fork shape. So you make a couple of lines off of those. This is just again adding more plants and detail to your ocean floor. Really easy, just a squiggly line, and then fork off a few lines from your main line, like so. Once you make your main lines, you can actually do some additional squiggly lines from the ocean floor as well. So you can bring those lines on down. It just depends on if you like the look. You can add a little bit more black detail on the side of your canvas as well. So go ahead and add in those additional details. For the next step, while we have our small brush, I'm going to show you how to make some fish, okay? So you're going to do this process on your canvas, or you can practice on a paper plate or a piece of paper as well. You're going to take your small brush and basically do like an eyeball shape. I'm sure there's an official shape for that, but that's the main shape we're going to do for our fish. And if your hand feels squiggly, you can rest your pinky on your canvas. So you're going to do a couple of those small little eyeball shapes on your canvas with your small brush and then fill those in. Again, using your pinky to anchor everything. And it's just a simple little V on each tail to add a tail to those. Again, I'm adding more detail. You can add a little bit of white to your canvas. And you want to make sure you go ahead and initial your canvas when you're done. So you've added your fish, added a couple little small dots, and you're going to sign your canvas. And there you have it. You have your sea turtle painting. Thank you so much for painting with us. I hope you enjoyed it. Please tag us at Brushed ATL with your finished paintings.